Welcome to The Story That Built Her. This is where we go behind the highlight reel and we look at the real, raw stories of women and those key moments in their life that changed everything. I'm your hostess, Adriana Monique Alvarez. I'm super excited to be here with Michelle today. Hi, Michelle. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
Excellent. I'm glad we get to have this time together. Your story recently came out in Transforming Pain into Purpose. And I would love just to start with what happened in your life that broke everything open? What was that event?
The event was I suffered from severe anxiety and panic attacks. So most of my life, I lived through having that fear that I wasn't good enough or I couldn't do things. I couldn't even leave the house.
Wow.
That's how bad the anxiety was. I remember the first time when I had it, I was in the middle of a busy street in Chicago and
Mm.
I froze right in the middle of the street. I couldn't even get across the street.
Wow.
And I went for years not knowing what it was because this
Hmm.
was back in the 90s. Now you hear more about it, but at the time you didn't. And I remember thinking I was losing my mind. I was going crazy because I had no clue what was going on. And even the littlest things scared the crap out of me. And then one day I just felt like enough was enough.
Yeah.
I did go to doctors. I had to see different doctors, was on several different medications. Um, and my daughter had gotten sick and I needed an income. We couldn't live on one income alone. So I was like, okay, I can't get out of the house. So now it's time to find something that I could do in the home. And I did that. I was online searching and I found an ad asking for moms to work at home. And I said, you know what? I could do this. I was nervous. I didn't know what I was going to do or how I was going to do it. But I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put my foot in that pond and take that first step.
Mm.
And I did that for years. And then I knew I was meant for more. And that it was time to start my own company. And that's where Boss Ladies Creating Empires came from. Now, believe me, it wasn't peaches and rainbows when I
Right.
started. I started really messy. Um, but I did it and took that step into it. And did I think a few years ago I'd be writing in a book? Never. I never, and it was a big weight off my chest to be able to do that and to share my story and hopefully impact somebody else who's going through the same thing.
Michelle, let me ask you this because this is an incredible from where you started to where you are now.
Hmm.
What do you believe caused that level of anxiety and uh,
Hmm.
a difficulty even engaging in life? What do you think was the root of that?
I think the root of it was at the time I had a lot of stress. My father passed away. I suffered a miscarriage. Um, so I think a lot of it was that. Um, but the fear has always been like my business partner who's on that top of my shoulder. Um, I'm not going to say I don't suffer from it still, just not as bad.
Yeah. And what would you say, like for people who experience a similar thing, what would you say gives you the courage to take action, to show up, to do an interview, to write your story in a book, to start a business, to lead, even when you feel that you know it's right there.
I do.
What is different from like the paralyzed, I can't do this, to the woman who says, I'm doing it. It might be messy. I still am aware of it, but I'm not letting it stop me. how do you cross that
I,
bridge?
I took baby steps.
Mhm.
It wasn't just jump right in and take the biggest leap. I had to start small, and I had to continue and show up for myself and show myself I could do it before I could help others do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I notice too, and I find this happens with women a lot. Your daughter maybe created the inspiration for you to get beyond this because
Mhm,
she needed this. And this is what I find so fascinating.
mhm,
We just watched Cinderella Man the other night. It's one of my favorite movies.
mhm,
And whether someone has seen it or not, this is the point. Every adversity he faced
mhm,
actually had packaged within it a
mhm.
gift that made him better, that made him stronger, that
Yes.
gave, it equipped him to do what he wouldn't have otherwise done. And that's what I hear in your story as well. The
Mhm,
situation that presented itself and your daughter being the center of that,
mhm,
that's why you were even willing to begin these baby steps.
mhm. And there were many times where my kids would say, "Can you come to a school event?" And I couldn't even get out of the house.
Mhm.
And a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah. This is something I personally find fascinating, Michelle, and
Mhm.
I'm going to go here and if you don't want to go here, you just tell me.
Okay.
So I spent many years outside the US. I lived
Mhm,
overseas, and I don't find in many countries overseas, other than the countries who try to mimic us in the US, they don't have this type of thing, right? This level of stress and anxiety and social
mhm,
fears, and yet they have a lot of support and a lot of community built in within their culture and family systems and
mhm,
all of this. And I wonder if that's what we lack in the US is when we have this hyper independence and we feel
mhm,
like we have to be responsible and we have to do it all and we're
mhm,
exhausted and we're pushed beyond where one person should be pushed. Is
mhm.
that why we have things that a lot of other cultures don't have?
I think so, but I also think that it's, some of the, like I'll say my family, for instance, didn't understand what anxiety disorder was because it wasn't as big as it is now.
Yeah.
You hear about it a lot more now since COVID, but back in the 90s, they didn't really understand it. You'd hear things like, oh, it's in your head. Well, yes, it is in my head, but I'm experiencing these effects, like I'm having a heart attack. I can't breathe. I'm pacing floors. Um, so it is, I, I could say it's a little bit of both.
Yeah. And I hear what you're saying, like the ways it manifests itself physically are
Hmm.
so real. It's like you said, it actually feels like you're having a heart attack. It feels
Yes.
if you walk out that door to go to the school event, you won't be okay.
No.
Yeah. So in the work that you do now,
Hmm.
what is your vision for your company? What are you leading the way on? What do you have this hope and desire that other women can see or do that maybe they're not there yet, but what's your vision for your company now?
My vision for my company is to go globally to impact women who are suffering or in the same boat I am or similar struggles and help them be able to find a passion and create a business.
Mm,
And I'm willing to support them and help them all the way along. As if I could do it, I know others can do it too.
absolutely. And I think that that is part of what we're returning to as a society is
Mhm.
what are you passionate about? What is the purpose you were born with? And how can you align your life with that? Because it's when we have all of these misalignments that everything becomes harder. This is when functioning feels impossible. Mm.
Yeah, very
And
true.
and you're showing them built within you, what you care about, what you know about, what you've lived, what you have a burning fire within you.
Mhm.
That's pointing you in a certain direction. It's telling you something.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
I love this.
I remember the first time getting on a Zoom. My hands are shaking. I couldn't do it. But now everybody's like, you're so good at it.
And I think this is a good point. It's
Mhm.
so easy to look at other people and think, well, it's easy for them.
Mhm.
It it's probably they're probably making it look easy because they've done it so many times now, but
Yes.
it wasn't easy in the beginning.
No. And it was messy.
And it was messy. That's one of my favorite things. That's the only way to do it, right? When people tell me, well,
Right.
I'm going to get everything lined up and theoretically and on paper, it's going to be so clear. I'm like, that's not how business works. You know that, right?
Mhm.
Like that sounds cute in like an MBA program, but that's not actually how business works.
Right. 100%.
It's like if you are afraid of looking foolish or messing up, doing it wrong, landing on your
Mhm.
face, entrepreneurship probably isn't for you.
Right.
Yeah, it's not the safest place, but man,
Mhm.
you will feel alive.
Yes.
Mhm.
It's the most rewarding thing to have and to be able to do and to be able to help others. And when that client comes to you and says, your post got to me today, it really made an impact. I remember first hearing, I cried because it meant so much deep down that I could help somebody.
That's it.
That's
And
it.
that's what I love about social media is it
Mhm.
allows us to speak to thousands of people every day.
Yes.
And with what we share, they can see themselves. They can see a glimmer of hope or a path forward. It can activate them into something that's new for them, the next thing,
Yes.
the next layer. And I mean, our parents and grandparents could never do that. They couldn't just
That's
get on
true.
their phone or, type something out and it go out to so many people.
Mhm.
This is the power that we hold right now.
Right. And there's so many tools today we can use to help us.
Absolutely. Michelle, where can people learn more about you and the work that you do?
They can learn more about me. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. I have a business group, Empowering Bosses Creating Empires on Facebook. They can find me there. I will be doing the Rise Up Summit in November, so they'll be able to find me there too.
Sweet. Well, I mean, if you can't find her, you ain't looking. That's what I'll say. Michelle, thank you so much for sharing your story here and in Transforming Pain into Purpose, Volume 3, that's also available on Amazon. And thank you for finding a way through so that now you are able to turn around and help others.
Mhm. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for giving me this opportunity to be a part of this project
Mm.
and let me share my story with others.
You are so welcome. Here's the thing. Everyone has a platform that they're already on. Everyone has a microphone in front of them. Go
Mhm.
use your platform, go use your microphone and share part of your story so that others don't feel alone and that they can see there's so much more than what they're currently experiencing.
Mhm.
All right. Until next time, thank you, Michelle.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.